At Chapter 8, Section 3 on the Cabinet. And the Cabinet is a group of people that the President has chosen to give advice. Their advice is non-binding. The President can choose how to use that advice, who to listen to, who not to listen to. The important thing is that each secretary, each person in the cabinet is the head of a very large executive organization. And so that creates a very odd dynamic when they meet because, each person truly believes that their organization is the best at what they do, or else they wouldn't be a part of that. That's usually how they work their way up into that position. And so the way that works, when a person becomes president, they have to select the cabinet, and it always changes for the most part. And at this point, the president picks these people to head these large organizations, and then the Senate, just a simple majority vote, has to confirm them. And so there's a lot of things a president can look for. Usually you want somebody who's qualified, who can do the job well. And so maybe somebody who's worked in whatever area that organization is part of. If you're picking somebody to be in charge of the Pentagon, the Department of Defense, you would want somebody with significant military experience. And so there's a lot of things you're looking for. You want expertise. You want somebody that's going to pass the Senate. And so you're looking to create a cabinet that is a good cross-section of the American public. When you have advisors and they all have one bent, it's very easy to miss something. And so the more even keeled you can get in your selections, generally the better the advice that you get. The problem, the difficulty, the challenge is that each cabinet member, being an executive of a large organization, there are divided loyalties. When you are put in charge of people, you need to understand that to lead them effectively, you have to, in a sense, serve the people you follow. So in the military, they used to use a phrase, my mission, my men, myself, just in terms of the order of preference of what comes first. And so theoretically, a good leader puts their followers before them. Now, there are times when a leader has to tell a follower, do this in order to get the mission done. But in general, a leader should be looking out for the interests of the people they're following. Build their careers, build their careers, build their experiences. And as a leader of a large organization, they have to look out for that organization and advocate for that organization, specifically when they come in front of the president to give advice. And that creates a situation where when the president meets with this group of people, they're not totally loyal to the president. And so that creates some of the frictions that we see with the cabinet. And these are some of the cabinet members for President Obama's second term. You can see some of these positions are filled by people that are fairly well known. John Kerry himself ran for president a few years ago. It's just one of those things where these people each, in a way, has thousands of employees below them. And these are different officers that are not, these cabinet level officers here that we're seeing. These are not people that are in charge of large organizations, but they are they meet when the cabinet meets, but they're not at the same level as the rest of the cabinet. Okay, and as we talked about before, there are divided loyalties. And because of this, the president tends to lean more heavily on the White House staff, which we'll talk about a little bit later.